Welcome to this presentation about the new product structure at Rehadapt. We would like to introduce some new structures. We means our training and sales manager, Robert, our product manager, Philip, and myself, Uli, the CEO of Rehadapt. What are we going to show you? Generally, I will give a brief introduction, a general outline why we are applying structural changes to our portfolio, together with a timeline, and give an overview which product families will be affected. Philip will go into details in the products, in the product portfolio, where the biggest changes will be applied. And after that, Robert will give an outline about other news that we have beside these structural changes. Of course, we are always keeping up, maintaining our portfolio, meeting customer needs, so there's also some news there. Robert will cover that. Now, let's get started. One general question is it really the right time now? Because we are facing this difficult situation in the global pandemic. So many things that were seem to be given for granted are at risk now. And now we are rocking the boat in times when there is already so much uncertainty. Why can't we just continue the way we always did? Is it really necessary to change now? We believe, yes, it is. Now more than ever, because there are so many risks out there. We will certainly not want to add another risk of not meeting regulatory demands. These demands are there, they are a fact, they are a law in very relevant regions, and we have to meet them, no discussion. Also, besides meeting regulatory demands, our portfolio changes will make your life easier. We are applying a number of changes that were long overdue. We didn't want to touch these structures because we didn't want to push changes on you. Now, as changes need to be done anyway, we're catching up, cleaning some things up, and it will make your life easier, and it would be not wise to not take the chance of easing up our lives, right? So, what's the background to this? There is a new legislation in the EU. It's not that brand new, it's already in force since 2017, but it will be policed from May 2021 onwards. It's the medical device regulation, and it has higher the standards for medical devices significantly. Now, when I visualize how heightening the standards for from a regulatory perspective, that means heightening the stack of documents that you need to pile. Similar things are going on in the US on the FDA. There some new rules are in force since September 2020 already. There's also more changes coming up, all going in the same direction as in the EU. It means we basically, for all our products, have to assign unique device identifiers. We have to file loads of documentation, technical files, clinical investigations, risk assessments, post-market surveillance, a huge pile of documents for each product. Besides these regulatory demands from the outside, we are also, as company Rehadapt, undergoing an ISO certification, ISO 13485, which is specifically for the medical area. And the demands of that ISO standards are pointing into the same direction as the regulators in the US and in the EU. Basically, regulatory bodies and standardization organizations love to set standards and make sure that there is never a deviation from these standards. So the perfect medical device in their eyes is always the same. Well, that's a nice aim, but we know in real life the needs of our customers are very individual. And we, as mounting problem solvers, have always been good at, in a very modular approach, meeting these very individual needs. So there is a general contradiction between the regulator's approach to a medical device and our customer needs and our approach to a medical device, to a good solution for the customers. How are we covering this discrepancy? Well, we stick to our concept of full modularity. All the Rehadapt elements can be combined with all other Rehadapt elements. Yet what we are changing is the kits, the ready-made solutions that we deliver for you. These kits will become fewer on the one hand to relieve that burden of bureaucracy that's required by the regulatory bodies. But each kit will become more versatile. So you will, when installing a solution at your customer side, you will have a number of decisions, a number of ways to react on individual needs that can be fulfilled with the same kit. Each kit will become more versatile, and we reduce the number of kits in total. Standardization and simplification is the label for all this. Now, when will these changes take place? Let's have a look at the timeline. Currently, it's mid-November 2020. I've set a few orientation marks here, change of the year, some religious orientations in the spring. The big date here is 26th of May 2021. This is the day when the EU MDR, the medical device regulation, will finally be full enforced also for medical devices class 1. And by then we have to have our new structure on the road. We know that it takes a certain lead time to get there, and we know it's a lot of administrative work. So we start earlier with that. We start by the change of the year, 1st of January 2021. We'll have our new portfolio structure in place. Yet we know that you have some quotations out there. You've been working with these products for a while. You might have some stock on your warehouse. So we will continue to sell according to the old product structure. You will be able to place orders to fulfill elder quotes until the 26th of May. Of course, we urge you, if you write new quotations, to do this according to the new structure, but the old structure will still be available for half a year now. Now, we are aware that in some cases, this half year of notice is not enough. You might be bound in any kind of tenders or other however binding agreements that you need to deliver something that you have promised a while earlier. Where there are some chances to make exceptions to our rule that we have to discontinue the old product structure by the 26th of May. However, these exceptions need preparation and a little bit of work. So if you are aware of any obligations that you need to deliver according to the old portfolio longer than the 26th of May, please step forward, please get in touch with us, and let's discuss. We will find a solution. Now, what is going to be changed? As you know, our product structure, our product portfolio consists of wheelchair mounts, floor stands, table mounts, wall mounts, some infrastructure around the Manfrotto Magic Arm. And beside these full solutions, we categorize our products in families of components. In these families, there is also replacement parts, tools, and complete kits. And we also have some device accessories, switches, iPad covers, and so on. Now, in this entire portfolio, the changes are being made around the wheelchair mounts, around the connecting parts of where our parts meet the wheelchair, so the frame clamps and the bases, and the clamping parts of the table mounts. All the rest of our portfolio stays quite the same. Now, particularly, you might wonder if we are keeping up the VMS service. Yes, we do. You'll still be able to hand in customer data and our team will work on a proper solution. If you look at this process as a black box, nothing will change. You will hand over information, we will hand over a suggestion for a solution. In between, in this black box, we will handle things slightly different. The structure of our commercial quote will look a little different, although we're basically still using the same parts. It's declared differently to make sure that that we're in line with regulatory demands. You'll also wonder if we still keep up the effort to train you and your team and your customers up. Yes, we will. In fact, we will even increase our efforts as the standards of the medical devices are higher than before. Also, the expectation of the qualification of people handling these products has increased. So we will step up with our training efforts, and you will have more offers from us to receive training how to work with our products. We will also continue to sell our kits, like the assessment kit, the service kit, and so on. That part will remain unchanged. Now, let's have a look at the changes. The detail of the changes, starting with the product family of the wheelchair mounts, will be presented to you by our product manager, Philip Ferreira.
Thank you for the introduction, Uli. I'm Philip, and I'm going to talk about I'm going to into detail over the overview of the changes. I'm going to start with the wheelchair mounts. So all of our new current wheelchair mounts will be discontinued and replaced with new wheelchair mounts. This means they will have new article numbers, and what the biggest change in this category is that the new wheelchair mounts will no longer have a frame clamp by default. This means you will have to order the frame clamp separately, but it also means that you will never have to ask for an exchange again. Our wheelchair mounts follow the medical device regulations guidelines as well as the FDA guidelines, and they will be labeled with a unique device identifier and identified as medical devices. They are not medical devices per se, as they are accessories of medical devices, but they need to abide by the same standards. We have 3 product lines in the wheelchair mount category. So, as you know, we have the M3D for heavier devices up to 6 kilos. We have the hybrid 3D mounts up to 1.8 kilos and the light 3D mounts up to 1.2 kilos. All of those wheelchair mounts will be pre-assembled and delivered in a standard package. The package will look like what you can see here on the pictures. So it will be standardized cardboard boxes that can be used to be shipped to the end user, but also is in warehouse as well as shipping. We also have a packaging concept where you can pick two or three boxes and put them in a bigger box and pack them together to be shipped. Also, all of these mounts or all of this packaging uses eco-friendly materials, so cardboard, which is also good for Mother Earth. Now I'm going to go into detail over the Monty 3D, over the new Monty 3D mounts. The standard mount is the Monty 3D Quick Shift. It includes quick shift joints on all the joints, as well as a quick shift UDS, and it comes pre-assembled with quick shift joints, but it also includes bolts in case you want to downgrade your quick shift joints to bolted joints. It also includes slip out safeguards in case you want to add them to the horizontal tube as well as the top of the vertical tube. Now we also have the Monty 3D 30. The Monty 3D 30 is a completely new mount, which we didn't have a similar one in our catalog before. And it is similar to the Monty 3D Quick Shift, but includes a rotation lock base, which makes it ideal in case you want to mount it on the left side of a wheelchair. It also includes bolts for replacing the joints, as well as slip-out safeguards. Our previous or our current eye control mounts have been replaced with the Monty 3D Pluses. So we have the Monty 3D Plus and the Monty 3D Plus HD. Plus means more more, which means you get more flexibility, more adaptability with these mounts because they include an additional tube. You can use that tube for replacing any one of the individual tubes, which means you can either get more reach to the front or on the horizontal tube, or more or less vertical length. They both include UDS DCs, which make them particularly appropriate in case you want to mount an eye tracker device. Of course, in the case of the Monty 3D Plus HT, you have the double tube, which allows you to get a longer range as well as less vibration. For the cases where cost is the defining factor when choosing your mount, we continue to have a more approachable mount, the Monty 3D, which only includes bolted joints and a simple swivel unit, and is there in case you want a cheaper option. We continue to have Monty 3D mounts with 2 tubes, which we can now call TT for 2 tube. We have them in 2 different sizes, so the Monty 3D TT, which has quick shift joints and the swivel unit. It is appropriate for devices that you can use in touch mode and are mounted or secured roughly over your lap. And we have the Monty 3D TT Plus, which, as it is a plus mount, it includes an additional tube, which you can use, and it also includes a rotation lock base, which also makes it appropriate in case you want to mount a 2-tube mount on the left side. They both include a UDS quick shift, and come with the bolts in case you want to downgrade the quick shift joints, the quick shift levers to bolts, and also include slip out safeguards. We have also the curved mounts in 3 different sizes, M, L, and XL, which differ mainly on the size of the curved tube. They all include a rotation lock base, but in the case of the L and the XL, they come with a UDS DC, which makes them particularly appropriate when you want to mount an eye tracking device, because the UDS DC, as you know, offers the option of clamping to the horizontal tube with 1 bolt, and then you can adjust the orientation of the base plate with a lever or a bolt as you want. Now moving on to the H3D mounts. We have 4 H3D mounts with both the UDS and the SLS variant. We have them in a short size and in a long size, which only differ in the size of the tubes. And H3D mounts are usually appropriate for mid-range loads. So not only for devices such as a tablet with an external eye tracker, but also in case you have a simple tablet that is usually used in touch mode. So we always have an additional force that is applied on the tablet and consequently on the mount. All the hybrid 3D mounts come with restraining caps as well as bolts for replacing the quick shift joints into bolted joints. And we have the option then, as I said before, having them with an SLS interface or with the UDS. Now talking about the light 3D mounts. We have banned, per se, the single tube mounts. Why? Because first of all, our sales numbers were not very good, and because the mounts themselves offer very limited flexibility, as you only have 1 tube that can only be oriented in 1 direction around the base. Also, on the picture, the picture also illustrates that you have a UDS in combination with a 10mm tube, so a very thin tube. We have also banned that combination because for UDS mounts, we expect you to have, when you use a UDS, we expect you to have a device of a certain size, so either a small talker or a tablet, and therefore you will highly benefit from a 16mm tube. which provides you more stability than a 10mm tube. We continue to have 10mm tubes, but for the SLS interface only, as you can see here on the Light 3D TT SLS. This one is ideal for small switches or for wheelchair controllers, and does not have a swivel unit, as this small device can easily be swiveled away at the quick shift joint level. We have the mount, the L3D TT with the UDS, which, as I mentioned before, has a 16mm tube and the UDS, as well as a swivel unit directly at the base. We also have a Light 3D Quick Shift SLS and the Light 3D Quick Shift UDS. Both those mounts are 3-tube mounts, and in the case of the UDS, it has a 16mm tube at the end, and in the case of the SLS, it has a 10mm tube at the end. Those mounts also, just like the H3D and the M3D mounts, come with restraining caps and bolts for downgrading the quick shift joints. So now moving to the Light 3D headrest mounts. In case you want to mount a switch on the left or on the right side of the user's head, in case they want to use it either like this or like this, you can use the Head 3D one switch mount, but remember that you have to order the Light 3D 10 base separately. Why? Because the Light 3D 10 base comes in 2 different sizes. So you can use it with a frame clamp, M3D frame clamp, or with a pre-configured L3D 10 base, which is smaller in diameter, as you can see here on the picture. The headrest one switch mount comes with restraining caps, as well with cable clips, so you can keep your switch cables organized along the mount, and is also available with the option of having a flex back tube at the end to provide more comfort to the user. We continue to have headrest 2 switch mounts for mounting 2 switches on the left and on the right side of the wheelchair. It also comes with cable clips, as well as with bolts to downgrade the quick shift joints into bolted joints, and is also available with flex back tubes. I know this is a lot of information that we're just dumping on you at once, but we will provide you with an overview of all the mounts, as well as with the technical specs and the content of the box, as a set of spreadsheets, like you can see on the picture here. That will be available for download on the link below. Also, all of this information will be available on our website, as well as on the instruction of each mount. Now moving to the frame clamps. As you know, we have lots of frame clamps on our catalog, which allows you to clamp on round tubes with sleeves, on T-nuts, on oval tubes, square tubes, etc. And now, to ease in everybody's life, so not only yours but ours as well, we have decided to introduce a flat rate. So now all of the mounts have the same price. If you want to know more about it, please contact our distribution partner. The flat rate was calculated as the exact average of our previous sales in the last 6 months. The frame clamps have their own intended use and will be listed as medical devices, such as the wheelchair mounts, which means when you buy a wheelchair mount, you will be purchasing 2 medical devices. First, the frame clamp, which has its own intended purpose and comes with its own unique device identifier, and secondly, the wheelchair mount itself. As you know, we also have accessories for frame clamps, such as the sleeves, which are usually purchased separately. But in order to stay consistent with the flat rate idea, we have introduced new frame clamps in which you have the sleeves and the corresponding frame clamp together as a package. So this is valid for not only for the round sleeves for diameters smaller than 25 millimeters, for example to 22 millimeters, but also for oval tubes. And now moving on to the table clamps. In the table clamps category, we have discontinued all of the previous L3D table clamps because we had a huge paraphernalia of L3D table clamps with UDSs, with SLS interface, with bolts, with quick shift joints. Now we replace all of those variants with only 6 mounts, as you can see here. So we have 3 mounts with the SLS interface and 3 with the UDS. They differ on the number of tubes. So you have the table clamp L3D 1, 2, or 3 with 1, 2, or 3 tubes, and the same for the UDS. We follow the same principle that we introduced for the L3D wheelchair mounts, in which the SLS mounts always come with a 10 millimeter tube at the end, and the UDS mounts always with a 60 millimeter tube at the end. All of those mounts come with quick shift joints, but also include the bolts in case you want to downgrade the quick shift joints into bolted joints. Okay, and I am now done with my part, so I'm gonna hand over to Robert so he can continue talking about the new and the older mounts.
Hi, thank you Philip for giving this over to me. So in case all of these informations are a little bit too much for you, or you want to have a summary about all the new versus the old products, you find about the link and information about all products that we will discontinue and also about all the new products. So in case for the future you're looking for a Monty 3D S solution, you can check out there which is the new bundle that will replace these as an existing mounting solution. Also, you find there more information about the regulatory compliance and about the things that we will change in the future. So much to the new products. I'm sure that Philip have given you in general very good overview about the changes on the existing products. But also with all of your feedback that we have received over the last years, we have also created a lot of new products that will make your life easier. As Uli told you previously, we also provide a wide range of accessories that allows you to use the Manfrotto arm in combination with switches. We found out that it would be beneficial for you to install your Manfrotto arm even safer to your wheelchair. That was the reason to design a special base system that is now able to be combined with all Rehadapt frame clamp systems and allows you to install the Manfrotto arm safe and stable to your wheelchair. Not only just that, we also know that a lot of customers love the flexibility of our universal tablet holder. That was the reason to create the mounting interface for the Manfrotto arm also in combination with your universal tablet holder. That means now we have an MA version of this product. Not only just that, we also have now a new mounting bundle which includes the universal phone holder as well as one extra tube and the little mini clamp as a universal mounting bundle for smartphones or for telephone systems, and that allows you to install your smartphone very flexible on every place where you are. Does it mean on your wheelchair? Does it mean on your rolling floor mount or on a table? The mini clamp includes all necessary components that allows you to install it wherever you need it. We not only have just made new bundles in terms of consumer electronic devices, we also have created and designed a couple of new adapter plates for dedicated communication devices, for switches, and new mounting bundles that also now include some different kind of most popular switch adapter plates and the flex back rod, which is a very comfortable element for switch mounting. We also included this little flex back rod and a new adapter plate for some control unit interfaces that allows you now to install your control unit very flexible and stable on your wheelchair. In case a customer is driving with his little screens against the wall, for example, the flex back rod will move with the force influence and will guarantee that the control unit will not be damaged. And also one last component that we have designed and created is a new swing away feature and new indexing latch that allows you a wider range of swinging your mount away out of the way where you, or out of the position where you have it previously. So much to the new products. I also want to introduce you to all of the end-of-life products that we will discontinue from the beginning in 2021 on. We will discontinue with a couple of existing bundles like some adapter solutions that allowed you to install and lock arm to an Ergotron base. We also have discontinued our base combinations that included the regular 25 frame clamp and the base special, because we have separated them from each other in terms of the requirements for medical devices. We also started to discontinue the bed mounting bundles because our risk assessment results found out that there are too much variabilities that we cannot see completely, and where we cannot guarantee that the bed mounting bundle is properly installed on the bed where the customer needs it. We also have discontinued various adapter plates for some older communication devices that are not anymore available nowadays. We also removed out of our portfolio the M3D folding mounting bundles for the right and for the left side installations. But you don't need to worry. These folding joints are still available as separate components, and in case there is a need to do an individual customer solution for one of your customers, we also can use the folding joints as a component in our VMS suggestions. So in case you need any virtual mounting solution created for your customer, just click on the link down below. So much to the end-of-life products. For all of you that following our Rehadapt YouTube channel, you may have noticed that we are working very hard on creating new content that makes your life as easy as possible. That was the reason to start with a new video format, which is called Mounting Made Easy. Every week we will create and upload new videos about product instructions, assembly instructions, disinfection for products. We'll introduce you about differences between products and are very interested in hearing your feedback about these videos. What are new videos that will make your life even easier? Just let us know. In case you haven't followed our YouTube channel, just click on following the Rehadapt video channel. Alright, so much to the informations about the changes that the regulatory compliance will bring to us. We hope all of these informations are a good summary about the changes, about the product portfolio, about the components, and about the end-of-life products. In case you have any questions afterwards, feel free to contact our personal email addresses. And we hope you enjoyed this webinar about the MDR changes and about Rehadapt's new ways in 2021. Bye!